All right, well, I'm back, and it's a little bit different, as you can tell. This is audio only. I'm just doing a little bit of an experiment, and I think I'm allowed to do that because this is Planet Doug behind the scenes, everything going on behind the scenes, and I'm very interested in podcasts. I'm currently outside my hotel now, just walking down the street, and I heard back from YL Camera. I said that I'd be very surprised if I did hear from them, and I did. So that's amazing. I'm not sure who I was speaking to at which branch, but I think they have one messenger system combined amongst them. But anyway, I asked them if they had the small rig mounting apparatus in stock, and if they did, which outlet has it. And they wrote back and said they do have. They said, I didn't quite understand the English. They used the word last, and I think that means they only have one left, and it's at the Pudu outlet. So I'm on my way to Pudu, which works out well for me because I get to go to 68 mixed rice for lunch. And I also get to find out whether they fixed the LRT line or not, because it's been out of order for a long time as they're doing repairs. And as I go from here to Pudu, I always have had to transfer at Hongtua Station. And it makes the journey less convenient to have to do that. You don't really transfer to a different line, but for whatever reason, they're running a shuttle train from Masjid Jamek to Hongtua, and then you have to get off the train, walk over to the other tracks, and then get on a different train to complete the journey to Pudu. That's what I've had to do for a while, and I'm curious whether that's still the case. I shall find out. I'm at the LRT station now, Masjid Jamek, and I'm not carrying a video camera. I'm just talking into the Rode Wireless Go, which I have on a little Insta360 selfie stick. So I basically look like Bob Barker walking around holding a microphone, basically on the end of a wand. I think that's what they call those things, like wands. And I'm a big fan of podcasting. So like podcasts like Radiolab, for example, 99% Invisible, Freakonomics Radio, and they're very, very good at creating a soundscape. So they tell a story that often involves different locations, but they don't show any of it on video. They don't even try. They just record all of it on audio, and they try to create the environment of where they are by recording audio while they're there. So they have very interesting sound design and soundscape. But anyway, I'm standing in front of the Rapid KL ticket machine, and I've collected up a bunch of coins recently. So I'm going to start trying to use up these coins. So instead of using my eWallet, or instead of using my Touch and Go card, I'm going to get a token and use coins. All right, it is 1 ringgit 60 cents to go to Pudu. Now I have to fumble. Here's some sound design. You can hear all of the coins that I've collected. I have trouble with the coins in Malaysia. A lot of them look the same, and it's difficult to sort through them. As soon as I came in here, I had to stop for a minute because I didn't really know where to go. I was confused again. But okay, now I have it straight. And as far as I'm aware, the mask mandate has been lifted, so you're not required to wear a mask in the transportation system anymore. And recording audio like this is not entirely new to me because, in fact, I did this exact same thing over 23, 24 years ago when I was cycling in Ethiopia. I was keeping a journal during that trip as well, and I was writing in notebooks with a pen and pen and paper journal. But I had a lot of trouble doing that while I was there, partially because it was hard to find a place that was comfortable, to sit down. It was a fairly rough environment. And when I was sitting outside in public, I got a lot of attention. So a lot of people would come up to me, stand around in a circle, and it was very difficult to focus on what I was doing. And a lot of people they got used to foreign visitors handing out pens and paper and notebooks to school children, things like that. So when I was sitting outside, because there were really no indoor cafes or indoor restaurants along the route that I was following and the places I was staying. So I was sitting in these very rough little street side, like tea stalls, places like that, sometimes even balancing the notebook on my knees, not very comfortable seating. And then people would crowd around me, and they would often try to take the pen out of my hand and say, give me. They want the pen. Or they take my map. I'd be looking at my map of Ethiopia, plotting my route. And it became a little bit uncomfortable at times. So I decided to try to keep a journal, an audio journal, while I was riding my bike. And because I'm slightly insane, I actually, while I was in Addis Ababa, I went shopping and I bought a mini tape recorder, the kind that was, popular back then. You don't see them around anymore. They record on mini cassettes. They use them in offices. Businessmen would use them to dictate correspondence, and they give the tape to their secretary, who then transcribes it. Very small device. And then I bought boxes of 90-minute mini cassettes. And oddly enough, I managed to find enough of them in Ethiopia in the stores that I filled up quite a few of them. I found boxes of them that I could buy. And from that day on, in the morning, I'd get on my bicycle and start riding. And I had this mini cassette recorder hanging around my neck, just like I hang my Rode Wireless Go. And it had, play button, record button, pause button, all the normal buttons on a cassette recorder, because it's a physical device, like a Walkman. And then as I'm riding along, I would hit the record button and I would just start talking and record my journal on tape as I was riding my bike. So that's similar to what I'm doing now, except that it's all digital and I'm holding the microphone on a selfie stick. And I kind of like this idea. I talked a while back about doing an experiment with recording on the Rode Wireless Go, because it can record internally. I don't need any kind of a camera or recorder to plug it into, because it records inside its own memory. But at that time, I had it hanging around my neck underneath my shirt, and nobody could see it. So nobody knew what I was doing as I was walking around. People just saw this foreigner walking around, talking to himself. Oh, here comes the train. A little bit of ambient audio of the train arriving. But yeah, when I did this before and I was walking around, as I said, nobody knew what I was doing, and I looked very strange just talking to myself. And I could still do that now. There's no reason for me to have the microphone on a wand, on a selfie stick. But now when people look at me, they hear my voice and they look at me, they can see the microphone on this selfie stick. So they can see me speaking into a device. So it makes more sense to them what I'm doing. And as I saw the train arrive, I saw on the sign, the station sign, it said Hung Toa. So this train is only going to Hung Toa, and then I'll have to get off. It only goes one station, I believe. No, two. Masjid Jamek, Plaza Rakyat, and then Hung Toa. And then I have to get off the train, walk over to the other platform, board another train, and it goes to Pudu. Though, to be honest, I could walk from Hung Toa. Instead of waiting for the train, I could probably walk from there, and it'd probably take the same amount of time. The other wrinkle to what I'm doing is kind of interesting, in that I've actually got two microphones running at the same time. So I've got the Rode Wireless Go on the selfie stick, but I have another one around my neck and they're both recording simultaneously. And the idea in my mind, if you're thinking like a professional, is that I can hold the microphone to my mouth, speak into it to get the clearest audio of my voice, but then I could hold the microphone away from me, like hold it to another person or the source of sound like I did with the train. But the other microphone continues to record my voice. So in editing, I can go back and forth between the two audio tracks. The one negative physical aspect to this is that the way these Rode Wireless Go microphones work, there's no off-on recording. Like there's no start-stop recording button. It doesn't work that way. To record internally, it happens automatically when you turn the microphone on. So if you want to stop recording, the only way you can stop recording audio is by turning the entire device off. So the power button serves as off-on recording. And in this case, that was the beeping of the door closing. Announcement?
Stesen berikutnya, Plaza Rakyat. Stesen pertukaran ke MRT Laluan Kajang. Next station, Plaza Rakyat. Interchange station to MRT Kajang Line.
There you go. Yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. It is less difficult compared to shooting video, of course, because I don't have to worry about a camera batteries, what I'm aiming the camera at, what I'm shooting video of. It's much more flexible to just record audio, and I held the microphone up near the speaker to get very clear audio of that announcement, so it's kind of fun.
Stesen berikutnya, Hang Tuah. Stesen pertukaran ke laluan monorail KL. Next station, Hang Tuah. Interchange station to KL monorail line.
Attention! This is a shuttle train between Hang Tuah and Masjid Jabik Station. To continue your journey to Ampang or Putra Heights, please proceed to Platform 1, Hang Tuah Station. To continue your journey to Sentul Timur, please take the free shuttle bus at the Masjid Jabik Station entrance. Thank you.
So that is the announcement about how this train doesn't continue. And to continue to Ampang, I have to go over to the other platform. I see on the sign that it's only 3 minutes till the next train, the connecting train, arrives. So I'm going to stay on the train system all the way to Pudu station. I find this station and this platform always surprisingly busy, even in the middle of the day. A lot of the other stations will have nobody there but me, but whenever I come through here, it's always busy. And the other thing to consider with doing audio like this is that each microphone has its own characteristics, and this is a lav mic, so it's not really designed to pick up ambient sound. And one thing I noticed very clearly is that when I have the Rode Wireless Go connected to a GoPro, it actually picks up more background audio than if I'm using the Rode all by itself. I don't know how that could be, to be honest, but it's definitely my experience. So using this microphone, internal recording, I'm getting a very clean signal, but it may not be the most interesting. There was another announcement, but I couldn't make out anything they said. I always wonder about people who sit in rooms, offices, and it's their job to make announcements. and they're in there all day, doing a professional job. They may have been given that job because they have the most pleasing voice, and yet do they know that 90% of the people out there have no idea what they're saying because of the speaker system? We can, at least I can't. I can never make out the words. So these people are talking and talking and talking, giving information, and it must be a bit depressing if they figure out that, well, there's no point because nobody knows what they're saying anyway.
Station berikutnya, Pudu. Next station, Pudu.
And we're on our way to Pudu now. It's a lot quieter in this train for some reason, and we're going quite slowly.
Anda sila berdiri di belakang garisan kuning. Anda dilarang memasuki kawasan treks. Untuk bantuan, sila hubungi pegawai kami. Terima kasih.
I can feel my brain working differently because with the video camera, I'm walking along and I'm always deciding whether to aim the camera at me if I'm talking, or aim it ahead of me, or aim it at something that's interesting. So I'm always scanning the area looking for anything visually interesting. But now I have to do that with audio. It's like, is there anything here in terms of audio that could add to my story, so to speak? So I'm paying much more attention to the sounds around me. Though, to be honest, I think when you're talking about Radiolab, a professional podcast, it's a very different thing. They would have mixing boards, professional audio equipment that can mix things, and they spend a lot of time doing it. I would be doing very little of that. And to get from here to YL camera, got to get across the busy road. So I have to find my normal pedestrian bridge. There it is right ahead of me. Can't show it to you because this is audio only. But I've gone over this bridge many times holding a video camera. It's an old bridge. Yeah, that's something else about these podcasts, now that I think about it. They narrate what they see around them to set the stage, because they have to, because whoever's listening to the podcast isn't seeing anything. So they would stop from time to time and describe their surroundings when they've arrived somewhere new. So I'm walking alongside a very busy road, divided into two halves with a wire fence down the middle, so pedestrians can't really cross it unless you want to high jump over the fence in the middle. But there is a bridge going across, a very old bridge, rusted metal, heavy cement truck going by, making a lot of noise, and all the bars on this bridge make it look very industrial. I've commented in the past that you feel like you're inside a prison cell with the bars on every side. Passing all kinds of interesting sights. All these restaurants. It's not quite the lunch rush. I can smell the durian, of course, because it's. I think we're still in durian season. And there is the mall, giant yellow-orange mall. The Hotel Pudu Plaza is there. Pasar Raya, so it's the Raya Market building. And that's where YL Camera is located. I'm inside the store now. And to my delight, I can see one on display. It's bigger than I expected, but I guess it has to be that large in order to mount two microphones. Yeah, and there it is. The exact thing that I'm looking for. I'm now outside the Raya Market building. I've left YL Camera and I was successful. They had the object I was looking for, the small rig dual mounting thingamabob for the Rode Wireless Go. And I guess I was very lucky to that extent, because normally it's a sort of item that only I would seem to be interested in, and then you wouldn't be able to find it anywhere, or a store might have carried it at one time or another, but when I go there, they will never be in stock. And in this case, I got quite lucky. They had one. They had one left. So I looked at it. It seemed to be in more or less what I was looking for. I'm going to have to test it. The one problem with it that I wasn't expecting, and again, nobody mentioned this in the reviews that I saw, it's heavy. Particularly if you were thinking of mounting it on a GoPro. It's a very heavy piece of metal, and in a way, like, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know why it would need to be heavy for what it does. I was thinking maybe because it's also a audio signal splitter, it might need electronics inside, and that might add to the weight, but I'm not sure about that. But in any event, it was quite a bit heavier than I was anticipating, and it may not be usable on a GoPro for that reason, but I could use it on other cameras where it fits better. Anyway, I decided to buy it, and I was a little bit worried about getting food here. I wanted to go to 68 mixed rice, but I thought by the time I bought this thing, it'd be right in the middle of the lunch rush. But I'm early, still 10 to 12, so it's not busy here, so I'm going to have lunch at 68. I'm just walking past the food display. For me, it's just amazing. I could eat here every day. They have eggplant. I'm here early enough to get the eggplant, but they have so many different dishes. Mushrooms. Oh, I have to get some mushrooms. So mushrooms, eggplant, vegetables, rice. They have everything that I could want here. The last time I came here, I had lunch. And then when I finished, I just got up and had a second lunch. So I wanted to try lots more dishes. Time to dive into my lunch. This looks so good. Yesterday I had lunch at a similar, like a mixed rice buffet near my hotel. And it's a little bit different though, because it's a vegetarian one. And that was the first time I'd been to that restaurant. And it was nice. The people there were really friendly, very welcoming. And the man running the place actually insisted on getting my food for me. So I just had to point at the dishes I wanted, and he put it on the plate. But in the end, I'm not much of a judge of food, but the food didn't strike me as tasty or as fresh as other places I've been, like this place. I find the food here to be very fresh, very good. Even the rice is much more tender and even flavorful. But the place I went to yesterday, the rice was kind of dry and crunchy. Guess it wasn't quite cooked properly. Let's try one of these mushrooms. Really nice. Very, very good. I got here just in time. The lunch rush is starting to build. There are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 people in line. And with this place, it was very good food, and I love the environment. I'd eat here every day. But there is a certain amount of frantic energy in the air, because they need to serve so many people so many dishes as fast as possible that they can't mess around. So nobody here is giving you a warm smile either. Nobody is going to want to chat with you, and it reminds me of the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, because the man at the cash register, very grim-faced, and when I went up to him, I was the only person there. There was no lineup yet, but I didn't have money ready yet. I had my wallet in my hand, but I didn't know how much it would be, so I didn't have money to hand him. But he was holding his hand right out in front of me, and like waving his fingers, like, come on, go, 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 come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, like with his fingers just like waving through the air, like, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money, you know, like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And then he told me how much it was, you know, like he was doing this with his hand, reaching for money, even before he told me how much it was. And then he added it up, and then he was still holding his hand out, and you're like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, go, 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 go. You know? So you're not making any friends here. You're getting good food, but yeah, they got to move fast here. And even some of the customers are quite loud and quite a little bit pushy, I would say, like moving around the food area, and yeah. So it has a bit of a frantic atmosphere inside here, but it's still okay. I don't mind it. I'm done with lunch. And the lunch rush really hasn't been all that bad at all the time that I've been sitting there. It got busier, but there was always room for someone to come in and sit down. Yeah, very nice place. Probably easily my favorite place to eat. All right, that is it. Back in my home, temporary home, and I'm going to settle in for a while. And if I do this again, I will see you in the next sort of video, sort of audio, sort of journal video podcast. See you then.